Hi, welcome to the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm your host, David DeHaas, where each week we bring you information on how to heal the body naturally. We're located in Boise, Idaho, where we do a 10-day healing retreat and are best known for helping people get their health miracle. If you want to know more about that, go to healingtheincurables.com. That's healingtheincurables.com. Or you can reach out to us on the telephone, 208-378-9911. Enjoy today's show. The information is presented for educational purposes only, is not intended to diagnose or prescribe for any medical or psychological condition, nor to prevent, treat, mitigate, or cure such conditions. This information is only presented herein for entertainment and educational purposes only. Good morning and welcome to the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm your host, David DeHaas, calling in from Living Waters Wellness Center, livingwaterscleanse.com. We're the Treasure Valley's premier detoxification center where we do colon hydrotherapy, far infrared therapy, and many other modalities to help heal the body naturally. If you want to learn how to truly clean out the body and heal it, you want to go watch our webinar, The 4 Natural Laws of Healing. You can get to that at livingwaterscleanse.com. At the top, it'll say 4 Natural Laws of Healing. And by the way, it's so important that we actually ask every client before you come in to watch that video so you can truly understand why we do what we do and what you need to do so that you can truly have the best cleanse possible. This morning, I was able to bring in my wife, who is the master healer, and she's actually the quarterback of our 10-day cleanse. Welcome, Wendy.
Welcome. I'm so excited to be here.
So there's a lot of little things we don't think about on a daily basis, including detox. You know, a lot of people go out and do a juice cleanse. They may do a colonic. They may take some products for their gut. But there's a lot of little bits and bits of pieces, a lot of toxicity that's coming at us from all angles. When you consider the average baby comes to Earth with 250 chemicals, that's a lot of chemicals already. So we're going to talk about how do we prevent just getting the toxins in our body. So let's begin with just in basic things. So in the home, let's talk about the home. So we talk about water a lot when we come into the cleanse. Obviously, people are going to be drinking a lot of water on our cleanse, and most of America is super dehydrated. So first of all, what kind of a container should we be drinking out of?
You always want to drink out of glass, see-through glass, preferred.
What do you mean by see-through glass?
Well, there's ceramic type glass containers, and the best would be see-through, that it's transparent. You can see it's glass.
Yeah, I buy the juice jars, and I repurpose those 32-ounce jars. What I like about that is that you automatically know, hey, I got my 32 ounces down. You do another second one, you got 64 ounces down, and the pretty soon you know you've got 3 or 4 of those down. You've got a full gallon of water in the day. And most people are running around dehydrated, especially for those of you who are drinking coffee. And maybe, do you want to talk about coffee for a hot moment?
Yeah, you know so much about it. There's I believe we calculated back in 2006 that there's over 600 herbicides and pesticides that are used on coffee. It's one of the most chemically foods to get from growing it on the table. So you always want to buy organic coffee.
Yeah. And so if you're out and about, there's a few places that actually do serve up organic coffee. Awakening's out on 5 Mile Overland. Shout out to them because they have organic coffee. So definitely. And then the next thing, what about cups? You think about the cups that the coffee's put in.
I always like the glass see-through cups. And if you're out and about, if you don't have your own type of container to get your coffee in, then the next best is the paper.
Yeah.
And it's still poisonous. There's still stuff in the paper. And if you've ever been to a paper mill and seen all the chemicals we use to make paper, but it's better than the styrofoam.
Definitely styrofoam. Styrofoam's one of the worst thing you can do, whether it's just water alone. Think about that, all that chemicals that is leaching into your body, and the poor old liver is saying, please, give me a break. No more styrofoam. So styrofoam, if you're in an office someplace, really, it's a huge toxin. No one should be allowed to drink out of styrofoam at all.
Well, and then you're talking about stainless steel thermoses are really a big are popular right now, and I encourage clients not to use those. We don't know if it's 100% stainless steel, so it can be a toxic waste dump by you adding hot liquid to that metal, and that you're drinking it. You're adding to your toxic load.
Yeah, I think they can say 49% of the stainless steel can be nickel. So they do a blend
Yes,
and still
just
call it,
cheap metals.
yeah, and they still call it stainless steel, but really you're getting another heavy metal into your body that you don't want. So avoiding those is really paramount to success as well. So I carry my glass bottles, and yeah, I'm going to break a few, and I've done that many times, but it's not a big deal to, you're going to break some glass now and then. That's just going to happen when you're dealing with
Right.
glass.
And my health is way more important than a few glasses broken, is what I decided. And you can buy a bunch of quart jars. You just buy those canning jars. You can get wide mouth or regular mouthed, and that's a quick and easy way too to get yourself something to drink out of. The only issue I have about the quart jars is they don't fit in your coffee holders in your car. And that's not fun when they're rattling around, so you need to get a little cooler to carry them in. But my health, going with bad health for a number of years and then having my health back, and there's so many things I do that I just consider normal because I don't ever want to be that sick again.
Well, you don't think about it at all, but when you have a little bit every day over a period of a lifetime, pretty soon people are coming in and they're in their 40s and 50s. And of course, we've been seeing younger than that now. We're seeing so much toxicity because of the kids coming out of school, just the junk they're eating in school and fast foods and so forth. So there's so many chemicals. And the next thing you know, your knees aren't working well, or you've got hives or rashes, you've got brain fog. So there's so many different sources. So what we want to do is, how do we mitigate all the different sources? So first thing, of course, is water. So what are you showering with? One of the things we've done at our home is we've got a simple little, I think it's about $80, I believe, a filter we put on the shower head that filters out that water, and we change it out about every 9 months or so. And so you think about that, and then
Well, you just change the filter. You don't change the actual
right,
part that's okay.
exactly. And then of course, what kind of pipes are in your home? A lot of homes, built here in Boise, if you're living in the north end of the bench, you've got a lot of those old metal pipes, and what's coming off that. So you need to have some kind of a filter at the faucet. And we sell a really good quality water filter. And what I like about the one that we sell, it's actually called Living Waters. We didn't name it, by the way, but it actually, not only does it filter out the different chemicals, but you can also create by pressing a button, it can actually turn it to acidic or alkaline water, which is great for washing off your vegetables. We don't think about washing off our vegetables too much, do we?
That is, and it can be quick. I have some clients tell me they soak theirs for 10 minutes or so. I don't. I just rinse it off, foom, and use it. And I get that I'm going to get probably a little bit of parasites off of it, but I've got a maintenance program I keep myself on, and
But if you turn it on what I'm saying, if you turn it on the alkaline or the acidity,
that's really
level.
nice to have that.
Yeah, I mean,
at your fingertips.
Exactly, and you've done it right there. You don't have
right.
to.
That's what.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very convenient. If you want to learn about that, just go to our website at livingwaterscleanse.com. Okay, so we've talked about water, what's coming in the home. What are we showering with? You think about it, our skin's our largest organ. So we got to be careful what kind of chemicals we're putting on our body to clean with. So be very astute about what you're putting on your skin. There's so many cheap products out there, and you don't think about it much. You see the fancy advertisements, but the thing you know, you're putting chemicals in your body. And then again, your liver, the poor old liver, is trying to deal with that. Now let's just talk about what happens to hormones and the thyroid and all this chemistry that the liver is operating, adjusting on a daily basis. The next thing you know, you've put this hot toxic burden that it can't adjust to.
Well, and everybody has a fatty liver or cancer of the liver.
But isn't it amazing?
Cirrhosis of the liver.
We see kids coming in at age 20 and 25 with fatty liver.
I think they're so smart to catch it early and awaken to what they can do to change their lifestyle. It's all about your lifestyle, the pollutants that you're putting in yourself that you have control of. Because as you said, we've got like 85,000 chemicals that we've been exposed to since World War II that we we don't have control of that. We don't have control of how many airplanes fly over our head or how many cars are on our street, but we do have control inside our house, which I consider that our wellness center.
We've been talking about the home specifically. In the last segment, we talked about water and different things that you should be drinking out of. But this segment, we'll talk about more about taking care of detoxifying your home. And one of the things people don't think about a lot, Wendy, is
Well, the air quality in your home.
the air quality. You think about your furnace, you don't have a furnace filter, but you have all those many feet of air ducts. Getting your air ducts cleaned out regularly is a really good idea.
Yeah, like once a year, every 2 years, you want to clean out your ducts. And then they want to offer you some type of smell that they want to put back in the house. Do not do it. I do essential oils on a paper towel would be the way to get a diffuser of essential oils throughout the house. I would not get any of that artificial deodorant or
Yeah, do not opt for that extra when you get your air ducts cleaned. You want to clean out the ducts. And the reason, especially if a brand new home. Now, most people wouldn't think that a brand new home would be a problem, but you think about when the guys are in there, the HVAC guys come in, they plumb in the vents, the sheetrockers come in, and they're taping and texturing and sanding, and next thing you know, you got dust throughout those vents. So every home, brand new home, begins totally toxic
Yep.
air system. And this was really highlighted many years ago when we had a friend that his wife had all these allergies. They couldn't figure out what's happening. And the guy that I know that did air duct cleaning says, clean your ducts. Well, it's a brand new home. Yeah, but clean your ducts. And he finally broke down, cleaned the ducts. I think it cost him $500. He cleaned the ducts. And next thing you know, guess what? Her symptoms went away. So really important to do. So not only think about your air filter in your furnace, change that regularly. You can't, I mean, the air filters are very inexpensive to get a good quality air filter to clean, to put in your furnace so that you're at least mitigating your damage. Now, another tool that we have, which we actually have been using for, I think since the 90s, is a very special air cleaner. It's called Fresh Air. If you want to try one out, just come down to the office. We'll let you try one. We also have a great demo of the filter there where we show you how we take smoke, for example. There's a special device we have that generates the smoke, and in just a few minutes with the ionizer and the ozone, it just cleans it up. So if you have fish smells, dog smells, cat smells, urine smells, so forth, these are the ticket to taking care of cleaning up those smells in your home, as well as killing the mold and fungus. So you can be having some symptoms of these molds and funguses and this dust in the air, whether it's allergies, hives, rashes. The mold can present itself on me. It actually came out of my skin. It was really nasty. And toe fungus, for example, nail fungus is a big problem. And so you can be having these toxicities in your home that you don't know or aware about. And it may be in the walls, it may be leaking the crawl space. Or you bought a home where it had a leak a long time ago, you're not aware of it, and that mold is still there. So these machines help you clean that up, and it presents itself a little differently in everybody.
Because it kind of goes a little different for each person, presents itself differently in people's bodies.
Yeah. So I mean, I have so many people have become aware of the mold issue, and mold. Dr. Hulda Clark talks about in her book. If you've got fungus in your body, that's the precursor to creating cancer in your body.
Right. You want to keep that load down, and the way you can control it externally is just looking around, seeing what you got going in your home, and having these type of ozone machines, air cleaning type machines in your home. What a benefit!
Yeah, and they actually have them for your car, and
we carry when we travel. We have a small one for traveling.
Yeah, especially when we go into hotel rooms, you don't know what's been in the hotel room. So they have a very portable one, which is actually excellent. And these machines will actually use ozone. So the cool thing about this, especially if you put down, like we did at Living Waters a few years ago, we put down brand new carpet and floors, and of course a lot of glues, heavy toxic smell. So we had to get rid of that because we're dealing with sick people already. We didn't want that smell. So we actually set these things on away mode each night. So for about 8 to 10 hours, we'd run these things on the away mode, stay out of the building, And it was amazing how it gassed off very quickly. So if you're in a brand new home, or if you're looking at painting a home, Wendy, what about painting? What should we be looking for in paints?
Well, on the off gassing, back to what you're talking about, what we were doing at Living Waters, it was just a few days and we had 3 to 5 years of off gassing from those chemicals gone, erased by this ozone machine. So that's critical because you want new carpet, you want new flooring, you want new paint, but then you're sitting there living in a toxic waste dump. How can you mitigate that and have beauty also by these machines? That's what we've discovered. So what was your question?
Well, painting.
Oh, painting. You want low or no VO paint. And you want to pay the extra price for that because that off-gassing from that paint, even if you're not painting it, you're paying someone to paint it. When you go back into that room or back into your home, that off-gassing, again, can take 3 to 5 years, and you don't want that to happen. So low VO paint or no VO paint. And then I still, even though we painted the place and we had the low VO and we paid extra money for that, we still had some off gassing from that, and we ran the ozone machine and brought it to 0.
Yeah. And so very important to do. Think about new cars. I mean, I love the smell of a brand new car. Well, even though new car, old car, there's still always, especially in the hot sun.
Yeah, they're putting out toxins, and especially if you're parking that in a garage attached to the home or below the home, like in a basement type garage. Those are so bad for you to have that car, those vehicles right there off gassing right into your home. Usually they're off gassing right into your eating area, your kitchen, your dining area, your front room. So if you can't park your cars outdoors and you have to park them in these garages, I would definitely get an ozone machine for my garage just to off gas from the car.
Well, the other thing you'd want to do is probably put in a air exchange to be running air in and out of your garage. But
Right.
Yeah, just don't park your car in the garage. Sorry, it's going, like she says, you turn off the car, you got those oil smells, the gas, turn on the
Tires.
tires.
Tires have so much chemicals.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. You just can't imagine the amount of chemicals coming off of your car.
And I'm not going to do away with my car. I'm going to keep my car.
Yeah, you're going to keep the cars. But yeah, definitely. So besides off gas, and again, these little ozone machines you can put in your car to help mitigate it, but still, hot sun, you're still going to have some of that gas off. And don't park in and you think about, where's the furnace in most of these homes? The garage. Whose idea was that? So bad, so bad. So now you've got this car, it comes in, you turn it off, and all those fumes are going in, and it's going right to the furnace and then right through the air vent. I mean, insanity to do that. So just quit parking your cars in the garage.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
In 1992, when we read about this, we made a decision not to park our cars in the garage anymore.
Yeah. We've only been mentioning just a few things. We mentioned the cups. We mentioned, how we're parking our garage and all these things that are coming into our body. So even the healthiest person out there today is getting set up for eventual disaster. And that's where it's important to understand the 4 natural laws of healing, which we talk about in the webinar. So go to that at 4naturallawsofhealing.com. That's number 4, naturallawsofhealing.com, or you can find it on the website at livingwaterscleanse.com. So if you've got hormone issues, you got brain fog going on, you've got thyroid issues, adrenal issues, kidney issues, whatever issues are, we know we got to clean the colon, we got to clean the small intestine, we got to clean the blood. We do that, and now we can apply the perfect nutrition. We apply the perfect nutrition, good things are going to happen to the body. It happens every single 10-day cleanse. So it's really important to get ahead of this rather than being behind and waiting for a dis-ease to happen in the body. And you go like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? So really important to understand that. So go check that out at the website, livingwaterscleanse.com. And then add to that, if you're constipated and you've got gas and bloating and this constipation issues going on, now you've really added to the burden. So there's so many sources of toxicity out there. Couple that with what's going on internally. You got to understand, every organ in your body attaches to the small intestine. So it's really important. How that lives is how you're going to live. There's no way of getting around it. It's the foundation to your internal being. So we've got to address that first. We have to take a break. You've been listening to David and Wayne DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, livingwaterscleanse.com on the Whole Body Detox Show. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. If you've got questions about what Living Waters does, call us at 208-378-9911 or see us on the website at livingwaterscleanse.com. You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 20, 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you. Besides detoxifying, we want to just mitigate our damage. And we teach you a lot of these tips on the 10-day healing retreat. I know, Wendy, you spend a lot of time with people in the room when you're doing the pulse frequency device, talking about some of these things. Do you want to mention just...
Well, a couple of things about in the house that we learned about in 1992 was not to have any wallpaper and paneling.
You wouldn't think about that, would you?
No, you won't, because there's toxins in the wallpaper and the paneling that you need to remove. Otherwise, it's going to, over time, it's causing autoimmune issues. And you want to get that, you want your home to be your wellness center, not your sick center.
Exactly. And now we're making the homes so much tighter. The windows don't leak like they used to. And now we're just inside these homes, basically toxifying ourselves.
Making ourselves sick. And we did away with any drapes. We have...
Now that's an interesting one, drapes.
Well, mold and dust mites and dust and microscopic type viruses and bacteria it's just a shelter for them to hang out in. And so when I read in this book not to have blinds, you can have drapes. We haven't had drapes.
Yeah. And then again, of course, then the blinds, the levelers and so forth, you can clean those pretty easily.
Yes, that's what we got was stuff, surfaces that could be cleaned easily.
Yeah. So yeah, you can mitigate the amount of toxins by doing some of these things. Listen to the webinar at the 4 Natural Laws of Healing, again, at the website, livingwaterscleanse.com. We've got a lot of information on that website, but probably the simplest, easiest thing is watch our 68-minute webinar called the 4 Natural Laws of Healing. You're going to learn about how you're going to detoxify the body. Like I say, on the 10-day healing retreat, we educate you. When you leave, you have gotten our 25 plus 30 years worth of, living this, learning this, figuring out how to detoxify ourselves. Because if you've heard my story, I was sick, not sick, a lot of allergies, asthma, psoriasis, so bad, a lot of fungus, eventually cancer. And of course, I learned to heal on my own without doctors, without doing chemo, without doing radiation, without doing all those drugs. So today we want to bring you that information. So we do that on our 10-day healing retreat. So we're giving you just its and bits of that on this show today. I hope this is very helpful. So let's keep talking about the things we can do in the home. We got to be careful about, what chemicals we're cleaning our carpets with.
Well, just chemicals in general. What am I storing in my home? It's best if you're going to have chemicals that you store them in the garage. And 2, that you're just aware, what am I using in my home to clean with that could be toxic for me and my family? So we usually use vinegar and Simple Green.
Yeah. And you think about it, years ago we used to buy those little oh my gosh, they're nothing but chemicals, to make the home smell nice, right?
Oh, those artificial smells that you can plug in or however you want to do them. And now we use essential oil, and we actually have diffusers for the essential oils because we awakened to how toxic we were making our home with these artificial smells.
And it's easy to grab those things you hang in your car that give you that evergreen smell. But again, there's another source of toxicity. Now, these are the little teeny pieces, minute things, right? But over time, you stack them up over time. You think about a little bit of sand in the shoe and a little bit more sand, a little bit more sand. Pretty soon you can't put your foot in the shoe. That's really what's happening to your body. And we're seeing young people come in their 20s. They've already got fatty liver. What's fatty liver?
Well, we are really, when on the 10-day, we really go through what are you doing to get how do you even get hot water in your home, and what kind of pots and pans are you using? And
let's talk about pots and pans. Let's talk about that for a moment.
That'll take a little bit longer than the time we have, but just a quick overview. As much glass pots and pans that you can use, and if you can't, and if you need others, I would do cast iron skillets and Le Creuset pans.
Yeah, Le Creuset.
You gotta be really careful what kind of pans you get. And I have a little test you can learn on the 10-day how to test the pans that you have right now currently.
Right. So this is part of the educational pieces we give you on the 10-day healing retreat. I've had people come through the retreat and say, the education alone, if I didn't do a single colonic or any of the far infrared therapies or any of the other stuff, that alone was worth, way more than the cost of the 10-day cleanse. So we give you a lot of value. And because one thing's to detox, one thing's what do we avoid? We're talking about what to avoid here today. So of course,
and how to come up with your own wellness plan going forward.
Yeah.
That, when you do invite the talking head, the advising person that you want to bring in, either the medical doctor, naturopath, homeopath, chiropractor, you want to pay the talking head to give you some information that you already are getting yourself educated. And you don't have, just because you're paying the talking head doesn't mean you have to take that advice. You can take the advice and say, I don't think I'm going to do it, or yes, I am. And the big thing on our 10-day retreat is I want you to walk away with some knowledge, or how to get more knowledge, so you can get yourself. An ordinary person can easily get informed. They just need to be directed in the right direction, how to get this information.
Well, this happened today. This is a great example of the value we give just in we give out so much information just to people coming through the colonics. It's, my gosh, I think about the years I spent trying to learn some of this stuff and get the information. I was out there like a vacuum cleaner trying to suck it up. But today we had a gal and she's got breast cancer and got brought up in conversation. Oh yeah, I have some problems with my teeth. What's the problems with your teeth? How many amalgams do you have? Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's got several amalgams. What about a root canal? Oh yes, I got 3 root canals. Which side of the body? Oh, it's the right side. Where's your breast cancer? Oh, it's on the right side. Ding dong. Yes. You think about just that alone.
The toxic waste dump in the mouth.
Oh my gosh.
We go through that in detail on the 10-day.
Yeah.
Usually I wait to the 6th or 7th day because clients have so many other things they want to get educated about before we hit the dental toxicity. But yes, the toxic waste in the mouth is so important that clients understand that and make their own informed decisions about what they're going to do going forward.
Yeah.
So
we've talked about air in the home. We've talked about what the things to avoid in water. And by the way, if you just joined us, you're listening to David and Wendy from Living Waters Cleanse.com, Living Waters Wellness Center here in the Treasure Valley, where we do a 10-day healing retreat. You want to learn about that? Go watch the webinar. Go to livingwaterscleanse.com. At the top, it says 4 Natural Laws of Healing. Watch that webinar. In fact, quite frankly, I don't let you in the door and do a single colonic until you've watched it. That's how important it is, because we want clients that are informed, making their own decisions, and you got to know some basics of the body. And you should have all your kids watch this video. It's really that important. So watch that. So let's talk about, we had this happen this week. We actually had a family member that was off traveling. And there's just a couple of tools you should have in your bag when you're traveling. And one of those is activated charcoal.
I carry it. It's $8 at Natural Grocers, a bottle of it. It's clear down on the floor. You got to kneel down to get it. And it sucks up. Charcoal sucks up. It's a binder. And it attaches poison to it and sucks it out of the body, but it also attaches good and bad stuff to it. So you don't want to stay on activated charcoal for an extended period of time. I'd probably look at 3 to 5 days because it's pulling out nutrition.
Yeah, you want don't take your vitamins when you take the activated charcoal.
Right. Well, you can take them the same day, but just apart from each other.
Right.
And then if I was going to Mexico or a third world country, I'd take citricidal with me. That you put a couple drops or 1 drop in the water that you're going to drink, or just once a day, and it's going to kill all the microorganisms that you may swish through your body that day.
If you want to know more about how we detoxify the body. There's lots of different detox products out there. It's really kind of this big, broad subject. But at the end of the day, you've got to start with colon hydrotherapy, right, Wendy?
Yes, you got to start at the root.
Yeah, that's the colon it's your second brain. The colon and small intestine. There's every organ in your body connects to the colon and small intestine. So whether you've got pancreatic issues, liver issues, lung issues. I mean, for example, remember a couple of years ago we had a guy that came in. You may not remember this, but I remember it, and he had pneumonia. He'd been in the hospital for a night, and his daughter was doing our 10-day cleanse. And I says, well, why isn't he here? I mean, my God, she recommended and paid for you to come to this cleanse. She goes, will this help with lungs? I go, yes. So he came in and he did 3 colonics. I got to tell you, first night he gets done, he goes, David, I can breathe. And I slept like a baby last night. I haven't slept like that. So in 3 days, and I got to tell you, just this week, we had that dust storm the other night. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the winds were blowing and woke up and there's junk all over your car. Well, I started sneezing and my nose started running. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I did a colonic. Game changer.
And who suggested for you to do a colonic?
I think it was my lovely wife, Wendy. Thank goodness she's in my world. Tell me what to do.
I wasn't telling, I was sharing.
She shared very well. Dave, why don't you do a colonic? Yeah, that's a good idea. So we did a colonic, and I got to tell you, what a difference today. Doing a colonic alone, especially this time of year, allergy season, this is a good time to come in and do a series of 3 to 5 colonics. And by the way, people always ask me, well, how many should I do? How many do I need to do? Well, Wendy, why do we do a 10-day cleanse?
Well, and I'm still cleaning out. It's not one and done. It's a lifetime of maintenance of going forward in my wellness plan for myself and continue cleansing and liver cleansing and another level layer.
Well, as human beings, some of us like our cleanliness. In fact, so much so that, there's a place down the street and for so much a month, you can clean your outside of your car every single day for one simple price. And I think about that, the other day when that storm happened, I had to get my car cleaned. I'm not, I usually wash my outside of my car like once, maybe twice a year. I mean, I'm not big on, I don't care what my car looks like. I care that it drives. I care that my engine runs well. But here we were, about 25 cars in line. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, we're cleaning our cars. We don't think too much about cleaning off the inside of our bodies. And all health, if you want to, like Dr. Bernard Jensen, here's a guy. And by the way, if you want to listen to a really great podcast, listen to the history of colon hydrotherapy. I interviewed Dr. Ellen Tart Jensen, who was Dr. Bernard Jensen, the original, I'm going to call him the founder of the 10-day cleanse, on an episode. So go onto our website and look under podcasts, or if you Google Whole Body Detox Show, you'll find it there too, wherever you get your podcasts. But under podcasts, listen to that show. She talks about, he said, look, if you want to have any effectual healing take place, you've got to begin with cleaning the colon. It is your foundation. And the problem today with our medical world, and even in natural medicine, we find too many people chasing symptoms. I've got to have bioidentical hormones. I've got a thyroid issue. I've got this issue, and I've got a skin issue. So we treat these little segments, and at the end of the day, we've got to look at the foundation to the house, and the house of your body is the colon and small intestine. When you watch the webinar, The 4 Natural Laws of Healing, you're going to see this chart come up, and it shows you every single organ, whether it's your arms, your hands, your spleen, your kidney, your liver, everything, head, eyes, ears, all connect to the small intestine and large intestine. So you've got to heal that first, which is why we do
our 10-day healing retreat.
10 days. You got to do at least 10 to begin with. Now I know I've done over 530 now, and 53 liver cleanses, because we're living in a toxic soup bucket. And why do I keep doing it? Well, I keep feeling better.
That's the big deal, is that how much better we feel and how much quicker our brains work.
Well, not only that, I mean, yeah, especially brain fog. That's probably the number one complaint when people come in. I've got brain fog, I've got depression, I got anxiety, supposedly. But no, you just got a plugged up colon. And how many pounds of junk is in our trunk?
It varies per person.
Yeah. But the average, they say, is 12 to 15 pounds. You think about 12 to 15 pounds of just garbage that need to get out. And the only one way you're going to get it out, you can take all the fiber you want, you can do all those things, but at the end of the day, you've got to do some colonics. You got to add water, and it's super hydration. And we see people come in with gray skin and come out with pink skin on the other end of the
Yeah, I
spectrum.
can't believe in short period of time, in 10 days, the transformation. It's like 3 to 5 years going to a naturopath or a homeopath
Or longer.
or longer.
Well, look at the gal we just had in. What's been fighting that 10 years? 11 years.
11 years.
11 years. This is recent. This is recent. Just got done doing the 10-day cleanse and did 5 colonics first and then did our 10-day. I'm going to say about day 6 of the 10-day, day 7, big turnaround.
It started happening, and then day 9 was gigantic.
Yeah. She texted us and said, "Oh my gosh, all kinds of energy. I want to clean my home, blah, blah, blah."
Well, a bunch of parasitic nests came out that day.
And we did a show on parasites. So on the under podcast, we had talked about parasites, I think about 4 or 5 weeks ago. You can't underestimate those critters and where we get those. So we definitely want to be cognizant of making sure we cook our
not
meats.
only are us, are the humans in the household in our wellness center called our home. What about our pets? So next time we'll talk about how to do parasite cleanse for pets.
Yeah, and by the way, if you come to the 10-day healing retreat, you'll learn how to take care of your pets. Because
And
this is just
yourself.
one of I call it the smorgasbord of information that we give you on the 10-day healing retreat. I mean, think about all the money we spent. We think we spent a couple $100,000.
Yeah,
Just learning?
I'd say close to $500,000.
Yeah.
Because we started in 91 with
Yeah.
Kirkpatrick, the homeopath.
Yeah. And then we traveled and we did, oh my gosh. I mean, I would travel every Friday to see this guy for a couple hours. I mean, my whole Friday was gone. So how many hours are you wasting not being well? You can't live your life. I remember how many trips we canceled with our kids early on because we didn't realize that, oh my gosh, she's got allergic to dairy products. And then she had a, reaction to the vaccine. And so, I mean, there's all bits and pieces that we learned along the way, but we give you this on the 10-day healing retreat. We give you a smorgasbord of information, which is why you're there 5 hours a day. No way to shorten it. And some of you may spend a little longer because you finally go, oh my gosh, there's so much cool stuff. What else can I learn? There's a lot of stuff to learn on the 10-day healing retreat. So we've been giving you lots of tools that you can do. So let's just very quickly, if you're listening on, well, we're about out of time.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, boom, boom, it's gone.
Yep.
We're going to talk about electromagnetic frequencies. But I did that on a show a few weeks ago where I interviewed Theodora Scarato and of the Environmental Health Trust. Go and grab that show as well. So we got a lot of great information on our podcast, and you can access it at livingwaterscleanse.com under podcast or wherever whether it's on Apple or Spotify. We're on all the major platforms. Just Google the Whole Body Detox Show.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, so it's been a great show. Thanks for coming on with me.
Yes.
Will you do this again?
Oh, sure.
Okay. She promises. Okay, I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, along with my wife, Wendy, where miracles begin by healing from within. You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month. And since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.